I wasn't even recording that, but that's okay. Anyway.
Oh, that part wasn't recording?
No, it
okay,
wasn't, but it's okay.
Because I feel like as soon as I know it's recording, I start like, so.
No, was not recording at all. Wait.
Okay, it's not recording. Is it?
No, I'm trying to see if you're in the shot.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because I have to be at an angle or else I'm going to be like.
I do like podcasts where people look at
like
each other.
A natural, yeah.
A natural conversation.
Oh, I should probably spit out my gum.
Girl, that's okay. Do you want to?
Yeah. I gotta be professional now.
Fine, Taylor. Is that what you call
What
it?
is this video number? 7, 8, 7, something like that. We professional.
What is life, man? Okay.
Hey girl.
Welcome back to
How Did I Get Here?
That's Taylor.
And that's Abby.
And we don't know what the heck we talking about today.
We are catching up because
life
there's
has
a lot
been
of catching up to do. Yes.
Life has been lifing.
Yes.
And we honestly haven't like seen each other in a while.
No.
If you look at we were posting pretty consistently, and then we didn't post because life was lifing.
We've both been working, so that kind of like.
And that's new for me because she just got a new job. She quit a job,
and I got a job.
Yeah.
And a whole bunch of other stuff. Oh Lord. Okay. Here we go.
I don't even know.
Oh girl, I got a job. And I was not expecting to get it so soon.
Is this the job you were telling me about that you interviewed for?
Yes, this is that job.
Or the one where they were doing the double, triple interview? And
yeah, it ended up being like 2 interviews, and I had a possible third, but they ended up hiring me. I know the job like market and all of that is crazy right now. So for people, if you're looking for a job, go into retail because they are hiring. And because I applied for so many, like I wanted to have my real soft girl moment and have a desk job and just like. I don't know, I just need like busy work, and I didn't want to have the same retail experience, but retail is hiring, and it ended up being a better experience than my last, so.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
Now I'm in retail again, and they hired me pretty quickly, and I don't
Started you quick?
Yes,
like what was the timeline of the interview, hire, start?
Week. They said September 1st, but I told them like I can start next Monday, which ended up, what's the week before? It was like the 22nd, 20th, I don't know, whatever it was. Basically the week before September 1st. I ended up starting a week after my interviews. And
Wait, so how long after you interviewed? Did they call you on the way home and say you hired?
Like the day after, I got an email from the owner's son saying like, sorry I didn't get to interview you, but the store manager told me like great things about you and we'd like to hire you. He like gave me all this is the pay, this is like hourly, these are the benefits you'll get after 90 days. Like
benefits?
Yeah, they just went through the whole run through. So I'm like, I accept. And I feel like I had like a full month off, I think, and I feel like I got some rest.
When did you quit?
When did I quit? Well, officially,
when did you go on leave?
I don't even remember. July 14th.
It was, yeah, you're right, mid-July.
So I got the job.
So
August
you only had about
2nd,
a month off.
Yeah. I had a little over a month. And yeah, it would have been great to have more time, honestly, but I ended up needing to leave faster than expected. And like my parents, they were not pressuring me, but they were like giving me like, oh, you can go to this website, and they're like other job websites and stuff. I'm like, oh, okay, like kind of.
Mind you, and just to fill you fill them in on that part, if you don't know where she was living.
Oh, after moving out of my apartment, I went back home to my parents' house for a month. And this is the part I don't know if I want to include because everybody doesn't know where I'm at yet. And I'm in hiding right now. I will say I'm not at my parents' house anymore. But I have not shared with everyone where I'm at right now.
Well, no one on the internet needs to know where you live.
Yeah, no one in my personal life.
Yeah, needs to know where you live.
A very I am the first few nights. Oh, I'm going into detail. Well, we'll see if I include it. The first few nights, I sent you those voice recordings after my first night in my new place, and I was like, oh, I'm alone for real,
Which is it's weird because it is what you wanted.
Yeah, and I had nothing in there yet. Yeah, I did for sure want that moment of peace.
But it is also strange when you move somewhere and you have nothing.
Yeah, I was just in a room by myself that night.
With Uzi, with her doggy.
I thank God for my dog. Thank God for my dog, because I would have for real been alone. I didn't even have my turtle yet, but I had my little dog Uzi, and it was me and him. I bought a blow-up mattress, girl. I was ready to go. So I have a let-out couch now, But I missed it. I missed the delivery. You know, you have to sign for certain deliveries and do stupid stuff. And it was like they came at like 1:30. I'm like, nobody is home at 1:30 in the afternoon to sign for a package. I don't have that life. But yeah, they kept coming at weird times, so I missed it. So I think it took like a week to get it. I finally have it now. But I don't want at this point in my life, like I don't want a lot of stuff. I just want to like. I'm not a minimalist like I was saying, but I just don't want
clutter.
like I don't want clutter. Moving out was I never had a whole lot of stuff, but moving out was not fun.
Mm-hmm.
I realized I had a bunch of little like knickknacks and crap. If I'm being honest,
paddywhack and crap.
I did not need. So yeah, I just don't want to live like that anymore. I don't feel like I'm gonna have to run away again anytime soon. But if I do, I want to be. I don't want a lot of stuff anymore that I don't really need. And who knows, I feel like everybody's a hypocrite in life. That might change in a couple of months, in a couple of years. I end up with all this little stuff again, and artwork and like little statues or whatever I had before. Mm-hmm. But for now, I'm just trying to keep it like as basic and simple as possible.
As you look at my cluttered living room.
No, but I love it. That's whole. Like once I get, if I ever have a family, that's when I would love to live and have like a comfortable home. But right now, I'm on the
I
move.
had to remember what life was like before I had a kid.
Yeah,
and I remember like going to bed and having my house perfectly clean. Yeah, and then waking up and keeping it that way for like a day or at least two.
Honestly, now with a boyfriend or a husband too, or anybody having somebody else
around. Yeah, Jamal would kill me with that. Even if my house was crisp and clean, he would come home from work, socks on the floor immediately. Socks on the floor.
When you
he don't be throwing his we have our little drinks. Yeah, can will be empty and just sitting there. And I'm like, why?
Water bottles drive me crazy, and like the half empty, half full, this one empty, this one crushed, like all over the place. That used to drive me
insane.
Like,
I feel you.
Yes.
Yeah, I just had to let it go.
Yeah.
But you don't have to let it go.
No.
You need to enjoy your life.
Yeah, I cannot believe like I'm really.
You ain't been alone since college.
No,
you live in
singles. Yeah, and even that. I think because everybody was experiencing the same exact thing. Like, we were all there going to college. Like, we had the same purpose. Now I'm, like, living with strangers. People are in different walks of life. Like, it's for real, legit. I feel kind of, like, alone now. Mm-hmm. And not in a bad way, but, like, I feel like I'm the only one experiencing my walk of life. Versus college, like, everybody's first day is the same. Oh. You know what I mean? Like, we're all starting our sophomore year together. Or we're all going to college. Like, we're all doing, like, we were in, like, a little bubble community of the same person.
And there was someone there, like, experiencing what you were, like someone who had a boyfriend, someone who was going through a breakup, someone who was already single, someone who was lost about their major, somebody
kind of like RAs and like little. It was just like a little more like protected community thing versus like for real.
College is a true bubble. We talked about that in our other podcast about how college is a real bubble. Peoria, Illinois is a true bubble. Like you look at the campus and you think it's beautiful. You go 2 blocks away, you're like,
oh,
this is her.
Right? This is real life. So yeah, I'm experiencing real life right now. And it's so many things that I can be ungrateful for, so many things that I can nitpick about with the place. But like I said, overall, having the peace that I have right now, like I am so, I thank God.
It was worth the money.
It's so much, like little things in my apartment. I just have to stop and say thank God. Like, thank you, God, for real. It was worth it to have my peace and to wake up and not have like any, what's the word, like unpredictability. I know exactly what's gonna happen next in life, and it's been a while. I don't know if I've
because even in your old place, you don't know who's coming and who's gonna go and when they're gonna get there. If they're gonna be like, you just didn't know like what was going on, and you were very far away from like the city. That's Chicago, where we do live, just in Chicago. But like she was in the northern suburbs, which is like an hour away from all her usual people.
So now I am really chasing peace, and I feel like I've been on the run for real. Like I quit that job. I left my like last situation or wherever I was living, and I'm just on a journey for legit peace.
Aren't we all? What is the title of this video?
It?
Like, we gotta go deep into something and like talk, because for me, oh my goodness, my big thing was, so for me, we're gonna do a deep dive into what, you know what, let's do like a deep controversial dive.
Is this our moment? Okay.
This is our controversial moment about what we really want in life versus what we've been steered into.
I don't think I've ever really shared, like, with the actual, besides you, I don't talk
that's what I'm
about
saying.
What I want in life.
That's what I'm saying. And we need to be honest with it, because if you go back and look at my personal YouTube channel, I was just watching, I did a recap video on it. I did a video I recently posted where it was a voiceover of my bedtime routine, like of cleaning up the house. And I was talking about mental health struggles during pregnancy. And I had looked back at my old video, and that's the beautiful thing about posting on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's such a, like, pictures and videos are one thing on your own.
Album, but
it's a life album.
Yeah.
I forgot how upset I was when I found out I was pregnant.
Yeah.
And let me tell you why. That was what I always wanted. Like, I always wanted to be a mom, but I'm stuck in this tornado of a situation of working full time, and that's just not what Taylor or I want to do. No. And I just felt like it's hard because you feel so much pressure from everybody else around you. Don't mind the cat food dropping. It was difficult for me to admit that I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. You have all this pressure around you of people telling you what you're capable of, what you should be doing. I was just saying that we feel so much pressure from, like, who we should be and what we're capable of. And I always bring up that annoying TikTok. It was before TikTok was a thing, probably. It was like an Instagram video where they're like talking about all the women like we can do this and we can do that, and we're like, girl, shut up.
Right.
We want to, which is okay, because women have done so much. That's not to downplay what women have done in history, and for women who want to do those things. But now it's kind of like, for everybody else, it's like expected of us, and it's caused society to look down on women who do want to be stay-at-home moms.
Yeah, and I just don't. I feel like being equal to men for me is just, I feel like it allows them to do less, if I'm being honest.
Be honest.
I feel like they don't do the things at home that we come home, well, not me, but that most moms and wives come home and they still do. Like, men, they go to work and they come home and they chill. Women go to work and they come home and they still do all the things we were doing before on top of going to work. They're still cleaning, they're still cooking, they're still taking care of children. So you're doing what we were doing before we fought for all these rights, and then, like, you're also working.
And I agree, because I'm kind of in that scenario too. Love my husband to death. I will say he does his best. When I ask him to do things, he will do them, but it's not his thing, and he will to this day admit it. It is not like, if we have the money, like, I would not be working. He does not. He only does the things like the dishes because he knows he has to, because I'm working. But over the summer, like when I had the summer off, because I'm a school nurse, school was out. When I had that time off, I was at home all the time, doing all the cooking, all the cleaning. He was working, and I love that.
Right?
I loved it.
It feels so good to take care of your home and to clean and do like little renovation projects and take care of your children. Like,
just get her out the house, go to the play place, just come home. And then also, but to be honest, for me, I think what I feel like God is speaking to me, and probably for you too.
Yeah.
I don't think that you either were like, not no down to people who are only stay-at-home moms and that's all you focus on, but I feel like I'm supposed to do something else like this. And that day you were helping me set up for Mia's birthday party, and you, like, I think you also enjoy doing little entrepreneurial things, but on your own time, not like having to work. Because I enjoy, like, even this week, like, I've been off for other reasons this week from work, and I've had other things to do, and I enjoy getting out of the house for like 2 or 3, maybe 4 hours away from Mia.
It also,
but not like being forced to be away from her for 8-9 hours a day every single day.
Like you said, when you're doing it on your own time, or when it's something you know you don't have to do because, like, I need this money, like, I need it. Like, when you're doing it because you genuinely enjoy it, it feels so much better. And when you want to, like, it just feels so much better to be on your own time.
And some people, I will say, I know a lot of people out there enjoy the corporate America. You enjoy your routine, you enjoy your job, you love climbing the ladder. And I think it's some people who are like that, but I just don't like the idea of people being forced into doing. And that's the thing. I will take away the word forced, because this is a free country. We're all free to do what. Look at you taking that away. No,
I don't know.
What do you mean? Say what you're thinking.
I feel like we kind of, well, I feel like we're forced to go to work.
We are forced, but what I'm saying is me and you, the difference is we're doing something about it.
Yeah.
We are trying to.
Yeah, you're right. You do
Everybody has freedom to really explore and to dive deep into what you really want to do.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. We look at people who have made it and who have done the podcast and who have been successful, and they have done blood, sweat, and tears and energy and sleepless nights, and they've done it. And that's where I'm saying we all have the freedom to get out there and be go-getters and get what you want to get and do what you want to do. But again, until you can get to that point and you figure out what you want to do, it's a mindset.
Yeah, it's for sure. You have to have that drive, somewhere in you, because I have had points in my life and moments where I'm just I feel like I'm doing the same thing as somebody else, but I'm just so exhausted. I guess it's just when you're
not doing what you're really meant to do, you're going to feel more exhausted.
You just don't have the energy. And when you're just everybody has moments in life when they're just you feel down and out, and when you feel like you don't have the energy to do things, and you just have to push yourself to keep going. Mm-hmm. There's definitely been times where I'm like, how does this person do all this? I can't see how they have the time. You can make the time, and there are going to be times in life, if I'm being honest, where you are, these are the dreaded words that I hate to say, but you might be depressed. But once you get out of that lull or that moment, just push yourself, or even while you're in that moment, you have to push yourself to keep going. Find inspiration. If you want to read the Bible, if you want to, whatever, talking to a friend, you have to find the inspiration to get that energy. Mm-hmm. Because once you're out of that mindset, when you're in a good moment, it's so easy to say just push yourself, but it's really if you're mentally struggling in a moment, it's really hard to push yourself to have the time to do the things you want to do or work on.
Yes, and I think for me, I'm still balancing, trying to figure out how to be a mom, because for me, when I go to work and come home, I only have a few hours with her, and I want to make those matter the most. And it's just, and I feel like God is telling me this, but I have to give up time with her, not only to go to work, but then to make my dreams come true of whatever else I want to do. When I come home, instead of editing or filming or finding time to do whatever else, I just want to be with her and spend time with her, because it already sucks that I have to be away from her all day. And then now I'm just focused on other things, my dreams. And I know in the long run it'll be worth it and stuff.
Have more time with her,
and then she'll have more time with me eventually. But it's just a sad scenario. So that's why I was saying, when I found out I was pregnant, it was a release of, I finally have to admit to people, I've been on this track of just running and trying to figure out how to be super successful. But what I really just want to do is be home and be a mom, because I never really liked having to go to work every single day and do certain and that's the thing. Again, I don't like having to go to work. My husband loves to go to work. He loves to be home too, but he loves the job he has. He enjoys going to work. He's gotten to a point where he has gotten into a position where he loves it. And he hates being at home all the time and doing the cooking and the cleaning and the chores. And that's the thing. Every time I turn around, it's something else to plan. Yeah. It's something else that needs my attention. And also, we're in the sandwich. Your parents are still relatively young and independent. Yes. Yeah. I'm in this sandwich generation where I'm focused on my parents, helping them and taking care of them, as well as trying to be a mom myself, and then be a wife and take care of myself. So every time I turn around, there's always something to do for my mom, my dad, my mother-in-law, my husband, there's always something to plan and figure out, or there's always something to deep clean, or there's always and I do have other dreams and things that I want to do. I want to be editing, I want to be filming, I want to be posting, I want to be coming up with new ideas. So there's always something for me to do. But even just life, I was saying before, when everybody was saying, well, what are you doing this summer? I think the difference is, so when I was going to be off over the summer and school ended, everybody I worked with was talking about what they're doing, and people were traveling and doing X, Y, and Z. And I was like, man, I really don't have... Now, I'm doing, I have the funds right now, but also I don't really have the time. But that's because I think if I was satisfied where I was, and I was I'm going to just stay in this job and keep going and going and going, then I would have more time on my hands. Sure. But it's because when I do have off time, not only am I trying to spend time with her, but I'm trying to make all these other things happen. So, I don't have that much time on my hands to go, travel and do X, Y, and Z, or just do things for fun, or spend time with friends for fun. Because when I have free time, I'm trying to film, I'm trying to edit, I'm trying to post and do all these things. So I just found that so funny when my friends were like like I'm watching other people have so much fun and live their best lives and not be stressed.
Yeah.
But that's because I guess they're living in their purpose and they're okay where they are now to an extent, because those same people, as I also said before, they were the ones that was like, man, I got to do this till I'm 65. Whoa, I don't know how I'm gonna. Yeah. But they are still doing it currently, and I guess that's just their plan.
And some people, they just have more of a drive. Like I think I said this in another video, but you were saying one of your friends, he does have a little bit of money motivation, I think you said. So it's like a little tiny bit easier for her to work. Whereas me, like I had besides my basic needs, like being able to eat and have a place to sleep, like I have no motivation to want to work. Like there's nothing there that motivates me to want to be there.
I know you paid your car off. You don't have like a mortgage or anything.
No.
Like you don't.
Honestly, with renting, some of it like ends up being more expensive, but yes,
renting. Yes, with them, like you will,
they have
or just
more of a
having a
commitment
house,
to it.
And so I found out I was pregnant. I was travel nursing, and then I had just finished an assignment, and I was like, I'm gonna work for years being a travel nurse, make tens of thousands of dollars. I'm gonna buy a condo. I'm gonna pay my loans off, my student loans. And then I got pregnant, and God was like, "Psych, you're not gonna do any of that." And I was this close to, like, me and Duvall. I remember vividly us sitting on this couch, in this condo we were looking to buy, and we were like, man, we were just so caught up with the beautiful area, the beautiful condo. What we want, like tangibly, we wanted that so bad that we were willing to like be house poor, where you're just like, you throw all the money you have into that and be like, again, that's when you're forced. And we would have had to work our butts off to be able to afford that, to afford to live there. And God had other plans. I was like pregnant. I probably got pregnant a few weeks later, found out, and then here I am today. I ended up moving back home. And so it's just, at that moment, I really realized, like, I was constantly striving, and I think maybe that was God's way of telling me, like, you're striving for something you don't even want. You've already established you don't want to be a nurse. It's not for you. And it was just, again, being around, like you said, people who are a little money motivated. People who are
more tangible goals, like you said. I think I struggle, like I don't really have tangible goals. Like when I talk, I feel like I tell you a lot of time, I'm looking for peace. Or like, I want a nice, like, loving family. Like, I don't really say, I guess family, physical people are tangible, but like, I don't like have like tangible things that
like
I really
want a Maserati,
right?
Like, I want
and it's not bad at all. I just don't have those things in my head that none of my goals are related to things like that. So
same. The only goal I have that it requires money, but again, it's peace, is just a home in a different, like a nice home in a different area. And the only reason why I thought about it, like I wouldn't mind living in a condo, but for us, we like have more feeling like I want
the privacy too.
It's the privacy. We have, for us, like me and Duvall, I know we would probably have like my parents or his mom like living with us at some point. So like I know we need the space. Otherwise, because that's why me and Duvall, prior to me, and that's the thing what God did, like God knows what you're gonna care about before you even know. Because I didn't think about living with my dad prior to, but my dad lived alone in this big old house. Had I bought that condo and my dad,
the way things are set up,
like I didn't,
you don't even know it's like with me getting my job, like I didn't know I was gonna need the money, like for my next venture.
At the same time that she got that job was when she knew she needed to leave. She needed an apartment. So she got the job and she was able to afford an apartment. And for me, like I knew I wanted to move back home a couple years ago. Me and Duvall had talked about it. And then I was like, no, we want our space and our privacy and blah, 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 whatever. And then we just never did it. And then I got pregnant. After we were looking for condos, we realized that was out of the question. And I just knew I knew if I had a baby, I was not going to live where we were living currently in that apartment. We were always planning to move. So I was like, well, financially, we got to go back home to my dad's. Like, and praise God for the way this house is built. It's like 2 flats, so like we still have we have our own whole upstairs. My dad has his own full downstairs kitchen, bathroom, bedroom, living room, everything. So again, like if I would have bought that condo, I would have felt so guilty leaving my dad, and I never wanted to do that. Like I always wanted to be with him and around him. I never wanted to leave him alone. So I would have just felt really guilty doing that. And honestly, moving home, not only did I not want to leave him, he provides so much like help just now even today, the only reason why I'm fully dressed is because he came upstairs and he just kidnaps my child, and I'm like, peace, go have some fun. And they do fun things, and you know, that's all I need. Just keep her entertained for me to do some dishes and get dressed or something, or edit or something, you know.
I always hear that children that grow up with their grandparents in the home are like smarter. I don't know if that's an actual fact.
It's something.
That knowledge from generations, it has to be related to something. And like really, even if you just articulate better, like I think children that grow up with older generations in the household,
again, even with grandparents, like people, because me and my husband, we both have parents who were like older. They were like in their 40s when they had us. And so now at first when you're like in middle school and high school, you like the young hip parents like Taylor's. But thankfully your mom, if you had a kid,
mine are in the middle too.
Hers are in the middle,
some younger,
but also her mom is a stay-at-home mom as well. So if she had a baby, she got childcare. But a lot of people that are my age, like if you had younger parents that don't have that, people constantly ask me now, well, what do you do when you had to go back to work? I have my mother-in-law and my dad. Like if push comes to shove, like my own mother as well. Like any of them could watch her on the drop of a dime, and she is their priority.
It's so important.
But other people, I know they have parents in their 50s and they're still working full time. So you have to, or you moved away from where your parents are, so you don't have that option. But God, for me, like that was a blessing that He gave me, and I see that now. So I think
even with moving into my new place, like I was just saying, with getting my furniture and stuff, and them like dropping things off in the middle of the day, I had to. The reason why I got my sofa is because my mom was able to come over because she stays at home. She was able to come.
You were at work?
Yeah, I had to go like that. I had to. They called me, and luckily I put my phone on vibrate so I could hear it while I was working. I'm like, okay, give me 1 second. Like, let my mom know. She had to come downstairs to get it because I had her wait there. Like, but if I didn't have that option,
you would have waited 3 weeks to get
they would have sent it back because like everybody's working. Like nobody really has the time to do that. So when you do have your parents and just people in your life that can be there for you, or that can stay at home, or that are older and not working anymore, it's such a blessing. Because what would I do? I don't even know.
We don't know. But I think the biggest thing about this video is just the guilt of us admitting what we really want in life. And I just felt so strange talking about it to people. Like, no, I really just want to be a stay-at-home mom.
I know, and I think it would be so surprising for people to hear that from me, because I don't really talk about my life to people, and two,
your
like,
deep
I'm not,
feelings and desires.
Yeah, and I'm also more of an introvert and a loner. I feel like a lot of people know that about me. So for me to say like, I just want a big family and like a husband and my house, and like they're like, what, Taylor? Like, I don't know, but that is what I would love to have. And speaking of that, we were talking about family and just talking about lives. I feel like you have to have the right person in your life, and it's good. I feel like there's times where I could have settled and I could have had a family and everything I want at this point, but I just feel like you have to do it with the right person too. And like, again, because I want so much peace in my life, like I just want to make sure that when I do decide to go down that route, I'm doing it with the right person. And I feel like I know I've told you a lot. You've experienced all parts of life with me. You experienced me being like really happy about having children, and then being in life to where
you didn't
what I'm trying to say is I think you need to be like you all both equally have to make each other comfortable, but your partner has to make you comfortable enough to want to have children. Because I got to a point where like I feel like I didn't even want to bring children into this world. Like my womb, my body, like I'm not comfortable at this moment to do that. And I think it's because I don't have the support that I think
you don't feel safe. Like you don't have the safety. No,
I wouldn't do it because I don't
have
feel
the
safe
safety
to do it. Yeah.
Yes, but if you have the right person that's going to bring the safety.
I think that's what, because lately I know you've been hearing me say like, I don't know if I want to do it or not. When before in college, I'm like, oh yeah, 2 years as soon as I graduate, I'm going to have like 3 more kids.
Go on the record and say it pissed me off so bad when she would say that, only because I know a lot of people just genuinely look at the evil of the world. Today, honestly, we are filming this on 9/11 and it's a 23. I honestly was crying this morning watching the news because it's just when you look at what really happened that day. I can't even put myself into these people's shoes, but imagine your life just got snatched away like that. Your mother, your father, and they even just you think about the people who were in the tower, but even just they talked about like 300 firefighters lost their lives that day. Another 300 has lost their lives since then because of ramifications of the breathing issues or whatever.
It's
just so sad, but the world is evil in general. And I understand people who have that, and I know that's part of the reason why.
For my
but
Taylor
it was also mainly the situation she was in that was not making her feel safe to want to have kids. And that's what was pissing me off, because I've known her since she wanted 10 million children. And she would be a better mom than me, bro.
No,
she would. Not. Only because she has, you know what, being a mom, what I've realized, what makes you the best mom to me.
Not care.
It's mainly about.
I don't care about anything.
She doesn't care. No, it's
unless
like
it's really like serious.
No, but you're so enamored. Like for me, you know what it is? The not caring about.
If
not caring.
Dead, then like calm down and we can fix it. Like relax.
Also, it's like you don't care about everything else going around you.
Yeah.
If you had a child, that's your priority. Sometimes I struggle with like I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta do this chore, I gotta get that done, and so I'm not 100% present with her, and I always try to be. Taylor, as much as she enjoys her chores now, them dishes gonna sit there if it means
we're gonna be in the playpen together.
And she will be silly with them, having fun. Nothing is above her or below her. Like she plays with her some kids, and I see that with her. But don't mind, like if she will still be the best wife and everything and get everything done that she needs to get done. But then she would also have and need the understanding husband that's not gonna come home and be like, my dinner's not ready yet. You've been in this playpen. No, that's not. She wouldn't want to be in a relationship like that either.
That rent's not paid. Like I just don't like the unpredictable. Like I just need somebody who's like really a rock, and I can be their partner, their rib, not their whole body. Like I need to be your helping.
That's from the Bible.
Exactly. Like I need to be your helper and not like struggling in the like you. I need you to be like solid too, and so someone I can lean on. I can't take unpredictability. Like it just drives me up the wall.
I know what you mean.
So until that moment happens, I'm gonna like save my eggs.
Yeah, you need to be able to lean on each other for each other's strengths. Like
and it's not like I know you can't be perfect. I know you're gonna need to lean on me sometimes too. But like sometimes you just gotta.
No, you were like the actual pillar. You were the pillar holding the house up the whole time. So that I just think we're all going through a lot right now. We're in the in between. We're both trying to figure out what we want to do, and I can't wait till one day be able to look back at this and give an update as to where my life will be, because I don't know. Like I said, I just felt so much shame around admitting that I don't want to be a full-time working mom, because again, I even go to work and I see people doing it all the time. I go to work and I see this. One of the teachers uses my office to pump every single day at 10:30 in the morning. She comes to my office and I leave and I let her pump, and I'm going to like give meds to other kids and stuff. And she has like 4 kids and she's like in her early 30s or something. And she's doing a lot. And I look at women like that and I'm like, dang it, like what's wrong with me? Why? And it's getting this thought in your head to feel lazy.
Yeah. But then I'm also like, that's just not my calling.
It's just,
not at all.
God gives gifts to everybody. There's some, because you know what? Shout out to another lady I work with. She has 2 kids, and when I watch her work in the school, I could tell like this is where she's meant to be. And she is also a great mother. Like I see her with her 2 sons, but also I look at her and she is so passionate about, like she gets on my butt about like this kid needs this. Like, can you come look at this kid? I think because we have like I've mentioned before, we have a lot of sick kids, migrant kids, underprivileged kids. Like we're their advocates. They come here. We try to give them as many resources as possible, and I can see that's in her heart and her soul. And so she's meant to do that. And she even admits, she's like, I do not do great at home. She she said do dishes, dishwasher, financial planning. That is not for me. But she makes a lot of money. She comes to work. She works her butt off. She's a great mom, and that's for her.
Even with managers, I know I saw my old manager on my TikTok page, so I don't know if she made it to YouTube yet, but hey girl, even with managers, like she is such a great manager. And not to talk, I think I said this in another video, not to talk bad on my previous job at all. It wasn't for me. I knew I wasn't meant to be in management, and I held on like the whole time when I got my first apartment. I was talking to the person I was with at the time. He was like, no, you should just hold on, just keep your job. And I did need it for like just to make sure I was there to support in case anything went wrong with that apartment or whatever we were going through. So I did need the job, but I wish I had quit like when I first started feeling like I wasn't meant to be in management. Like it wasn't for me. I enjoy fashion, I enjoy customer service, I enjoy helping people, but I know it's supposed to be in a different aspect. Like maybe I'm meant to help people within my household. Maybe I'm meant to like just work in customer service and not be a manager. But I knew I was not meant to be a manager. And my manager, on the other hand, she was great. Like she loves what she did. She would come in early, stay late. Like she put her all into her job, and she was really good at that. Like some people are meant to do what they're doing and others are not. And I was not, and I held, like, it was making me so miserable because I held on to it for so long. And I think we talked about this too, but like I started quiet quitting, I guess, because I always put as much as I can into something, but I just did not have a lot left to even give.
I will say in her defense, her bare minimum is still above average. So like she just wasn't doing the above and beyond.
Yeah.
Because even when she was going above and beyond, she was still getting crapped on for what the little things falling through the cracks because of the employees below her that are not doing their job. That's always going to fall into the manager.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for me, I just think I'm just taking it day by day. Like I said, God has a plan. And I don't know, like I said, I'm off at least like a week or two. This is September when we're filming this. And I just look every single day that goes by that I'm not able to put as much effort into my other dreams or spending time with my child, like fully raising her. It's a struggle for me as day by day. And watching her be so upset when I leave and like watching her, and I get it. I know it's normal. I know a lot of people go through it. Yeah, I know a lot of moms who've gone through it, they just have to watch their babies adjust, and they do adjust. But for me, what I think is, I will say overall, God gives us all the desires. Like he's the one giving us the desire. And for me, I know he's giving me the desire to be a mom and to like I wouldn't. If I was meant to be like that lady I work with who was a killer, a go-getter at work, then I would be that person. I would have that passion. But I know God has given me grace and he gives me peace to where I'm going because I have probably one of the best assignments that I could possibly have where I'm at. I do that. Too. Like I know he's giving, even though we know this is still not a forever, he's giving us, as I call it, grass in the desert. Like he's giving us something for the moment where he's working on a change in us for right now.
That's the other thing I will say. The 3 years that I spent there, like I wouldn't have had this exact location if I had, like this job was not available 3 years ago when I wanted to quit. So that's the good part about the fact that I left when I did, because I wouldn't have had the opportunity and the peace that I have going to work now.
I didn't stay at home. The school nursing for me wasn't even a realm of a possibility until like God planted this shortly before I got pregnant. My friend told me about it. And then I was like, school nursing, all right, I'll keep that in my back pocket if I ever need a stable job. And then about 6 months later, I needed a stable job. And so I was like, dang, girl, let me hit you up. What you say that job was, girl? All right, here I come. And then like I said, I would have had a bunch of different schools, been miserable, but like January, I got off orientation January of 2023, and this kid came back to school who had diabetes, and they needed a nurse at that school 5 days a week, and I've been blessed to be there ever since. He almost left, but God had a plan, and she got him transportation to the school because he needed that, and I was like, praise God. Otherwise, if he was not there anymore, then I would have had a different assignment. And I've watched that happen to other nurses. They've had a whole bunch of different assignments. So like I said, God has just continued to show his timing is perfect. And even in your poor decisions that you think are poor, like you think you should have quit 3 years ago, but again, he said, you know what, since Taylor's not going to quit, I'm going to have something planned for her at the end when I know she's going to be ready. We're trying to figure it out and figure out what we want to do, and we're going to figure out why God has given us desires to do what the heck we're doing.
I want to say too, before, because I feel like we're wrapping up a little bit, I'm so glad that you're being still in this moment and that I'm finally moving, because we talked about this in a voice recording before about me just sitting in the tornado or in the storm and never moving. That's who I was. Like I don't do anything until the last minute. Something has to be really, really bad for me to ever move. That was I will sit through anything. Like you can punch me in the face cold, knock me out, and I will just I'll get back up like, dang, okay, like what's next? But no, I realized that sometimes believe in God, have that faith, but also move and don't be afraid to move. And Abby was kind of the opposite.
I was constantly like in the tornado.
Ready to go.
I was ready. I wasn't really listening. I never really had ears for God, and I think that's where I'm struggling. Where I've been struggling at now, and where I'm trying to do better. I was just in the tornado, but never really knew who God was as a being. I never really knew. Like, I was just there, like, how do I get out? Like, I was just searching, and I would see a little hole. Everything that glitters ain't gold, and I would see a little bit of a glitter, and I would go running for it.
Trust your gut too.
Yeah.
My last job taught that. I think that's also why I was meant to be there. I've been saying that since I left my last job. Trust your gut. When you feel bad, I felt bad when we had our, what is it? Not your interview, but like the call, I don't know what you call it, but like the acceptance call, basically, when they let me know I had the job. I thought it was nervous butterflies, like excitement. No, it was feeling bad, like I should not have. Literally trust your gut or whatever your intuition.
Sit in the moment for a second, and that's the thing, God.
You don't have to approve it. I felt like I have to say yes. Take your moment.
Because God doesn't, sometimes when you ask him something, should I take this job? God doesn't always give an immediate yes or no.
Yeah.
Sometimes it might take him a day or two.
Yep.
He wants you to be quiet and still. Yep. And that's where I'm at now. I would be searching for the glitter and the tornado. I would run towards it. But thankfully God would say, like, all right, she's going to run through that door that I don't have for her. Let me find a way to use it for her good. Every single time. And finally he's like, little girl, can you just sit down?
Let me tell you something about being divinely protected too. God will protect you through all of these situations. Through people who have ill intentions for you, for mistakes that you have when you kind of have ill intentions for yourself, not knowing what you're doing. God will protect you if you are here for God.
Let him.
And He will protect you. So don't Again, you have to take your own steps, but don't feel like you have to be in charge of your life. God is guiding you, and he takes care of you through everything you do.
And I would say with that too, don't forget to look for him in the little things of life. Sometimes I think you may look through your life and the good things that God has done for you, you might blame it on coincidence and just don't think it's like. For me, I look at a lot of this nursing job, or I could just say, oh, it was pure coincidence of why I got this or why I am where I am. But when you really sit down and look at it and you form a relationship with him and you learn to hear his voice and hear him, feel his emotions and what he's telling you to do, and then you look back and you see how insane that was, that this happened at this timing. When you really look back at your life and you start paying attention to God and you start to actually move where he wants you to move, you can look back and see the grace that he actually gave you and see, like you said, he was telling you to do something. Don't blame the little coincidences on a coincidence. Nothing is a coincidence. Right. God is stringing the orchestra of everything. That's why you see some of these, we Christians, but you call them crazy Christians, they be blaming every little things in life, like these cute things in life on God, just little things like, oh, there's a rainbow in the sky, oh, it's just a rainbow. No, like sometimes when you really look and you take a moment and you can feel the peace of the Holy Spirit, you can understand God is really speaking to you even in the little things of life. So don't put that away to think that it's just coincidence all the time, because we're still trying to figure it out. Yeah, we don't know what's going on. How did we get here? But I don't even want to say we're trying to get out of here. We're just trying to find peace where we are. Because, again, I think I'm to the point where it's like you're constantly striving for the thing. Even if the thing is peace. Yeah. Because you think you don't have peace where you are. Yeah. But God is like, no, just be content where you are. Stop. That's what that girl... the last thing I will say, the girl I told you about, Stephanie Ike, if you haven't, just look up Stephanie Ike Okafor. She's a pastor at one church in LA. Don't mind my baby, she just woke up, so we're gonna go get her in a minute. But she was just saying that even for her, like when you start to idolize something, then God, the only idol you should have in your life is God. He is the only. So if you idolize anything, then God doesn't want to give that to you, because he wants you more than he wants you to have that thing. So even with marriage, she was saying for her, marriage, the idea of marriage and having a baby, that was her idol. And so she constantly was like searching for men, and she desired it so much. Really, and so God wouldn't give it to her. So she finally had to just let it go. And then shortly after letting go, the desire to have, like, just don't mind this tail you see in the front whole winter. Shortly after having that, like letting it go and just giving it to God, that was when she met her husband. But God knew, and she knew it too. She realized it. Like, I'm idolizing this thing. For me, I'm idolizing the idea of having the perfect house, the perfect scenario, the perfect everything. And God kind of taught me that. Like, I'm posting a video about my refrigerator, and it was like I said, don't knock out the simple things of life. I really wanted that refrigerator, And I felt like, okay, well, we needed one because our old one went out. So we bought this super nice refrigerator. But then God was like, okay, now you have the refrigerator. How do you feel? Like, do you feel at peace now that you have the thing?
Yeah.
Once you get the thing, even if the thing is marriage, even if the thing is having a baby, if you don't have God first in your life, getting the thing, whatever it is, tangible or not, is not going to make you that happy. You will lose that
Some people
peace.
do it with clothes too. All that. You like, okay, now I have my full wardrobe. Like, I'll never have to buy it. You're back on the Dago website again. You're not going to be satisfied. That's not going to make you whole or complete or fulfilled.
And it really every time I look at that refrigerator, I'm grateful for it. But it was a lesson of like, don't get so caught up in wanting a house, wanting the perfect neighborhood, wanting to have another baby, wanting to have the perfect meal. Don't get so caught up in that. The only thing you need to get caught up in is being closer and closer and closer to God and learning to be at peace at where He wants you to be at. Not like striving and idolizing every little thing that you want. And even for us, that is being a stay-at-home mom. So even though that is what we want, I have to learn to not idolize that.
Tell me to wait, be patient for that, and not idolize it.
Because if He gives it to you now, then you're not going to be ready for it. You will lose sight. You'll squander it. You won't even have as much peace. He wants you to be the perfect person before He gives you that thing. And then maybe you are perfect for it, but your husband or the whatever it is, he's still working on him. You never know, or whatever else, or that job doesn't exist yet. So all that stuff. So I think. Do you have anything else?
I think we
my baby's
everything.
Screaming for us. No, she ain't screaming. She's chilling.
Aww.
And then we have this guest here as well. But we didn't even know what this is going to be about. We haven't talked in a while at this point.
It was really a catch up, but I think we touched like a lot of good points. And I'll probably look back and come up with a good title for it.
I know it's the something about shame to being a stay-at-home mom. Because I'm telling you, I had to release it when I got pregnant. I was like, guys, I don't want to do this anymore. I've been lying to y'all, and it was judgment coming. People were like, "That's all you want to do," and I'm like.
It's all you want to do is work? Like, you're
you're the problem. I can say the same thing about you. And people put so much esteem to working. But there's esteem to being a mom too.
Right?
Like, you are a nurse. You work, do this and that. I'm like, I do, but like when I die, when I'm 90 years old, I want to be that cute. Did you see that cute TikTok of these two old cute grandparents and all their grandchildren bombarded their house and did a sleepover?
I see that. They've been making that like a trend.
I love that. It's a trend. I want that. Like, I want to have 10, 15 grandkids come to my house and take over with their air beds, and that's what mattered to me.
That'll feel good. That'll have me peaceful in my little rocking chair.
You be like,
smiling. That's your accomplishment.
That's what I want in life. I don't care to look back and how much money I make, as long as I make enough.
I got my degree in sociology, criminology, and I worked for 60 years. I finally retired just a year ago, and that's not for us. Not for us.
And if it was for you, that's great, but we just don't. It's the shame that we felt in admitting this, and we just gotta admit it that it ain't for us. We got that off our chest, because now we've moved on to the next step to achieving that goal, and we're still in the tornado. Like, she just got spun around to a new job. I got spun around, and I'm back at work. And we don't know where we're going from here, or what's gonna happen, or what God has for us, but we'll see. We'll see.
Catch you next episode.
Bye.
Thanks for watching.
Bye, y'all. Bye.
Oh, that was good.